Yo, YouTube, what is up? Radar 25 back here with my co-host, Michael Futamania.
What up, Marks?
Guys, Wednesday Night Wars. We had NXT on Tuesday night. AEW just finished Wednesday night. Dropping both on this episode. We got a total of 4 takeaways, 2 from each show. Not the best outing from AEW is their, go home before All Out this Saturday. We're going to give our predictions for All Out at the end of the video. And we got a lot to get into. Before we do, I want to remind you guys, drop a like on this video, the previous videos, hit the subscribe button. If you're watching this video, you're not subscribed to the channel, notification bell, so you guys are alerted when new videos drop. Follow me on Instagram, Twitter, follow my Twitch for our live stream. And without further ado, guys, let's jump right into it. 4 takeaways from the Wednesday Night Wars, AEW Dynamite versus NXT. And we're going to start off with NXT. And we're going to start off hot with takeaway number 1 because NXT, surprisingly, the WWE show started off really, really hot. And it started off with a 6-man street fight. Legado del Fantasma versus Breezango and Isaiah Swerve Scott. This one caught me off guard. Plus, it was super cool and super legit to see Breezango with the tag team titles come out, make their first entrance as tag team champion. But this match was wild. I mean, weapons. There was the best spot of the match. Okay, so first let's get Imperium did interfere in this match. They started beating up Breezango. And they started taking down. They all 5 guys. You got Legado del Fantasma and Imperium beating down Tyler Breeze in the ring. Then randomly, a forklift appears, and Isaiah Swerve Scott and Fandango are up there. They dive off the top, which is
whoa! What the?
There's a forklift there.
Oh my God! Scott, Fandango! You gotta be kidding me!
the best spot of the match. But a lot going on here. I really enjoy the way they were making Fandango kind of more serious in the ring and making him do a little bit more. We all know Tyler Breeze is a tremendous performer. So is Isaiah Swerve Scott. And I thought this match was tremendous, a lot of fun, and the rivalry seemed to come out of nowhere. It didn't really make much sense, the rivalry, but this was a cool match. This feud is like random, like the way it came up. Breezango and Swerve Scott being put in there after they helped out Drake Maverick in the beginning, but then I don't know what happened with that. So whatever, but this match didn't seem that warranted. Like it didn't really need to happen, but it was cool that it did. And it was awesome performance by all guys, especially Breezango, which I'm obviously a big fan of, and super excited to see them in a spot like this as tag team champions. So we'll see where they go. They probably have a rematch against Imperium coming sooner rather than later.
Yeah, again, great match. Great way to start off Super Tuesday. I mean, it was a super, super match. It was the best match of the night. I know that there's a huge match after, but this was just like so unexpected and just so many high-flying moves, weapons all over the place. It was like just a big old fun smash up. Everybody had a good time. There's a forklift that came out of nowhere. Supposedly, Fandango had a forklift license back in 2003. That's what he was talking about. So I guess he was familiar with it. It just kind of popped off. We're like, where the fuck did that come from? Yeah. Whatever. But it was great. And just seeing Breezango being taken serious and in big matches and having great matches, just good to see. Those guys have been around for so long, paying their dues, and they're finally getting some respect. They're getting the respect that they've always kind of deserved. But yeah, I mean, hell of a way to start off the show. I was so hyped. It was amazing. I mean, and we'll see where this whole feud goes going forward. Imperium and definitely Breezango are going, and Swerve and Legado del Fantasma are going to go, from here on. But awesome match. Awesome.
Swerve got the pin on Escobar, so that's interesting enough because he lost previously to Escobar last week with the loaded mask. But very, very cool stuff. Very, very cool stuff from everybody involved. Raul Mendoza, shout out to him. He took a couple of headshots with like a trash can and a chair in the corner. Looked kind of rough, but hopefully he's okay. But guys,
they were gimmicked, bro. They were gimmicked.
Yeah, but guys, that's takeaway number 1, the tremendous match that started off the night. Next thing on the show. There's not many matches on the show because of the big Iron Man 4-way at the end. You get Candice LeRae versus Casey Cantanzaro. Not much here. LeRae wins pretty easily. She's still hyping up. They're still hyping up the feud between her and Tegan Knox, which is like not really that appealing as right now because it's just like, oh, she used to be my friend. Now she's not. Oh, I miss it and stuff like that. Not really feeling it.
And then she invited her to dinner. So,
yeah, she invited her to dinner. Yeah, so whatever. Next match on the show, we had Timothy Thatcher versus Bronson Reed. And nothing much here in this match. This match was just to have Bronson Reed get attacked by Austin Theory, who came back last week in a backstage segment, and Bronson Reed slapped him in the face. So Theory got his payback here. Attacked Bronson Reed, threw him in the ring. Thatcher put the armbar on him, and it was the end of the match there. Thatcher gets the submission win. Next thing on the show. We got a confirmation that next week it will be Rhea Ripley and is it Mercedes Martinez?
Yeah, Mercedes Martinez.
Yeah, Mercedes Martinez, right? I thought it was, for some reason I thought Raquel Gonzalez, but it's going to be Mercedes Martinez and Rhea Ripley in a steel cage match next week. I think that's a little bit too quick for that match. Like, be a steel cage match.
It's Super Tuesday 2, man.
Super
Tuesday 2 is
they need
big.
to, like, hype up the matches there. Okay, so let's get to the big thing on Super Tuesday. The last match. It took up an hour. It was a fatal 4-way Iron Man match. He was becomes NXT champion. Finn Balor, Tommaso Ciampa, Adam Cole, Johnny Gargano. Takeaway number 2, obviously, because this match was long. It was good. It was good.
Great.
It was a great match. You know, everybody traded falls. They all had one going to the last few seconds. Then you have Finn Balor. We have Tommaso Ciampa going to the top rope, dropping Johnny Gargano. Looks like he's going to go for the pin. As soon as he drops him on the ground, Finn Balor's ready for the coup de grace. Hits Tommaso Ciampa with the coup de grace. Gets the pin there.
Drop center of the ring. Clock is ticking. Wait a minute.
Out of nowhere.
By Balor. Can Balor pick up the victory? 20 seconds into the cover.
You think it's over. Now, the timing on this was...
Because there's 10 seconds left. There's 10 seconds left when Finn gets the second pin.
Yeah, when he gets the second pin. And then as he's like in the ring kind of celebrating because it looks like he's won it, here comes Adam Cole, hits him in the back of the head with the knee, then has trouble turning him over and literally gets the 3 count with time expiring.
Shot! Clock is ticking. 5 seconds. We're gonna take away. Cole trying to fall over Balor. Cover.
Like it hits 3, and that was 1. That was 1
like
second.
Walk-off win. Well, not walk-off win, but tying late second shot. Yeah.
So now we were tied at 2-2. Adam Cole and Finn Balor. Johnny Gargano and Tommaso Ciampa are out of it. So it ends like that. You have them arguing at the end. Here comes William Regal, and this is an odd move on WWE's part. He says because they're both tied, that next week there will be a one-on-one match. Winner take all.
Next week, on NXT Super Tuesday 2, you two will face each other one-on-one in this ring, and it will be one fall to the finish.
There has to be sudden death between Finn Balor and Adam Cole. So they gave us 60 minutes of this match, kind of for nothing. I guess because Super Tuesdays 2 is next week, they need another big match there. But it's kind of a tease, kind of a bait and switch type of thing because you think you're going to have this big match, a first-time ever match. You would think you would have a championship change or a championship winner right there, but you don't. So it's a bold move from WWE. Let's see if it pays off for him. But, you know, I'm not a huge fan of that. I figure they could have had the sudden death right there on the spot and just get it over with, right? Because you might turn off a couple of viewers because of that. But, you know, the match overall was a really good match.
Yeah, I thought the match was great. It was long, so in these Iron Man matches, a lot of times like you start seeing the same thing, and like there's so much fat on the bone that there's a lot going on, and just like it gets stuff's kind of repetitive and bouncing around. This match would have been like one of the best matches of all time if it would have been like 30 minutes or 40 minutes long, because it was once it got to those last 15, 20 minutes, like all right, it's exhausting. Let's go. Like, let's end this thing. But I thought it was great. The ending was cool. Like they really pulled that off where they got the last second, like literally like they couldn't make it any more perfect.
Closer,
like I was like, I don't know how they did that or how they practiced it or whatever, or maybe just it was live, wasn't it? Was it live?
I believe it was live. Yeah.
I mean, that's hard to do. Like that's unbelievable. Like kudos to everybody that planned it out and all the guys that made it happen. But yeah, definitely a weird way to leave us where we just spent an hour of our day watching a match. And it didn't really mean anything because we're gonna have to go to another match next week. So it's definitely kind of a bummer. I'm not gonna lie. It kind of takes away from the match because you're sitting there for an hour and you're invested and you're thinking this is like a huge, and then just really and Ciampa Gargano just pushed to the wayside. Like all right, well whatever.
They were in this one match and now they're not in the next one.
Yeah, so it's kind of it's a little messed up, but whatever. Super Tuesday, it's a whole event trying to make. They're competing with AEW, so they have to create these special attractions, and that's what they're doing now. So, but great match, and we'll see who wins. I'm picking Finn. I think that's my pick to win.
I would pick the same. I pick Finn as well. I just feel like Adam Cole coming off that long title run doesn't really need it again. Yep. And I think Finn is the guy who really needs the shot in the arm and become champion. But guys, that's takeaway number 2. That is NXT. It was a 4-match show. That's all there is to it. Let's jump into AEW. We get to Dynamite, and then I give our predictions for All Out. The go-home edition of AEW Dynamite started off with the Best Friends versus Santana and Ortiz. This feud has been going on for a little bit of time. After Santana and Ortiz pretty much destroyed Trent's mom's car.
Like dicks.
So they have the match here. Fast paced, it wasn't anything great. but it was what it was. Santana and Ortiz got the win.
Finally, they got the win.
They got finally, because they needed string they need to string some wins together, because Inner Circle feels like super kind of like weak right now. Minus Chris Jericho, especially like Jake Hager's like feels like the weakest one of them all, because he doesn't really do much. He has no matches, and when he has matches, he for the most part, has lost all of them. I think like minus one singles match, the first one against Dustin Rhodes, but he lost against Cody. He lost against Moxley. So, they all need wins. Like they all need to come out and get wins. But that was the first match on the show. Next thing on the show, AEW Dynamite. It's not an AEW Dynamite without an 8-man tag, because they had 8-man tags for like 6 weeks in a row now. You had the Young Bucks and Jurassic Express versus SCU and Private Party. The caveat to this match, whatever team wins has to face each other at All Out, which is kind of corny and kind of worthless, pointless at this point. I just don't understand it. And then on top of this,
it's just to fit people in for All Out. It's a bloated card to begin with. That I know it's like their big event, but like, did it really need to be a match that needed to be made? I mean, come on.
Yeah, I mean, Young Bucks, Jurassic Express probably be a good match and stuff, but we didn't really need it. There's nothing really behind it, so it was what it was. And spoiled it. Jurassic Express and Young Bucks got the win here, so that's the match that will take place at All Out. Very solid 8-man tag, as good as they can be. AEW likes to do these things, a lot of moves, a lot of big spots, guys standing around waiting for moves to happen, stuff like that. So it's fine. It did appear like maybe they're teasing a Bucks heel turn, because they had like issues with Jurassic Express after the fact. It could be a heel turn there. Maybe it could be the lasting effects from what happened with Adam Hangman Page and them kicking him out of the Elite in that kind of whiny, almost crying session that Matt Jackson had there. So we'll see what happens with that. But that's all there is to say about that. Next thing was Chris Jericho versus Joey Janela. Previous to this, you had Jake Hager, for some reason, sitting next to Orange Cassidy in the back, and then he says that Chris Jericho wants him to be out in the ring, that he better show up for this match as a spectator. Then you see him at Orange Cassidy reach into his bag. It goes to commercial. The match begins. Orange Cassidy comes down, and he has his classic Jan Sport book bag there that a lot of people had when they were going to school. And
in the 90s.
Yeah, the match happens. Chris Jericho pretty much destroys, Joey Janela. The match really didn't need to happen. There's really no point of it. He busts, Joey Janela wide open. Interesting thing though is that he called the move. Well, he won the move. He won the match with the Walls of Jericho, and he called it the Walls of Jericho before that. I kind of thought that was like maybe a WWE copyrighted phrase.
I mean, I never heard them have the move, have a copyright on a move. I've heard names, but
I think so, because you have like FTR changed their name of their finisher.
But they probably changed it because they want to refresh and get away from.
I guess, maybe you never know. They copyright a lot of words WWE, so maybe Walls of Jericho wasn't surprising that Walls of Jericho.
Or here comes a cease and assist soon. Here comes a cease and assist to Chris Jericho,
because he does. He did the Code Breaker, and they weren't calling it the Code Breaker in AEW. So there's a lot going on there. But he gets the win with the Walls of Jericho. He continues to beat the beatdown of Joey Janela afterwards, bloodies him up, all that stuff like that. And here comes Orange Cassidy into the ring, starts fighting. Here comes Jake Hager, gets in the ring. They start beating down Orange Cassidy. And then here comes Sonny Kiss.
Oh, look at this. The Concrete Rose, Sonny Kiss. Whoa! Sonny Kiss is Janela, Ron Marty.
Friend of Joey Janela. He gets in the ring and they start fighting. And then, pretty much it. I mean, it's just hyping up the match, the Mimosa match that will happen at All Out, which we'll get into in our predictions. But that's all there's to say about that. We had the debuting Thunder Rosa, the NWA Women's Champion. She's taking on Serena Deeb. It was actually a really good match. She is a tremendous performer, Thunder Rosa is, and I'm excited to see her versus Sheeta. She got the win here. Thunder Rosa did, and I'm excited. It's smart for them to have her on the go home, rather than people don't see her for the first time ever on All Out, right? Because you never know. She could, something could happen. I don't know if she's faced Sheeta before. You can correct me if I'm wrong. Anybody who's watching this, if she's faced Sheeta before, I don't know of it. But she may not have chemistry with her. Some things can happen. It could be kind of sloppy at times. So have her here, get her a match in. People see her. It was a good match, and then you get accustomed to her, and then you're excited to see her versus Sheeta. Next thing, we're going to get into it. Takeaway number 3 of the night. They had an interview with Kenny Omega. It was done by Tony Schiavone. and basically talking about FTR and Adam Page and what's going on with their match at All Out. He says him and Adam Page, they're going to bring it. There's still some issues between them, but, kind of is what it is. They get interrupted by FTR and Tully. They come out with a cooler, and then they offer Kenny a fresh chocolate milk. They call it the chalk, which is kind of a corny nickname, but, It's kind of funny that the way Kenny was dressed, also very summery.
Well, they're in Florida, guys. Probably like 95 degrees at 8 o'clock at night.
Yeah. So they get into it, and Adam Hangman Page comes out, and he looks kind of beleaguered and drunk. Looks like he's got any sleep, like an all-night bender, because of the fact that you can see his eyes are kind of
red. And,
Yep. So they come out, and FTR made it up. Well, kind of made Hangman Page betray the Bucks the way he did. They were like real friendly with him. They toasted him. They had beers with him and all that stuff like that. And then they kind of just throw that all out the window right here. And they say it's all on him. It's all on Hangman Page, that he's weak. Whatever. It's in him. We
didn't have to talk to you at all. You got in your head. So tell him. Explain to Kenny. Explain to him how you're so egotistical. How you're so egocentric. All you do is care about yourself.
Paranoid. He has confidence.
There's a lot like he's a piece of shit too. There's no bunch of that.
Piece of shit.
Hey, you know what? You know, Adam?
Are you kidding me?
He said that a bunch of times.
Yeah, and then so they leave. He's upset with FTR, and then they get out the ring, and then he continues jabbering with Kenny Omega. So this issue's all over the place here, but I just don't like the way they went about it here. I think it kind of fell off. Like, I don't know. I was really excited for the eventual breakup of, Hangman Page and Kenny Omega and him leaving the Elite, because they've been teasing it since the beginning of AEW. So I just didn't like the way they went. Obviously, before with Matt Jackson kind of whining and crying about it, and then here, FTR just throws that completely out the window, everything they did, and just tell him immediately, oh yeah, it's all on you, and then they do that, and then he's mad at Kenny, and that's just I'm not really feeling it.
I think they dropped the ball really heavy on that one. But what I want to see was more of just Hangman maybe in the match with FTR just kind of gives up on Kenny and just says I don't care anymore. I just want to go on myself. I'm by myself. I'm a loner. I'm the cowboy. Blah blah blah. And that would have been better off than this whole what was the whole point of FTR working or being buddies with Hangman? We're just for what? Just to play with them?
No, it was just to get him to screw the Bucks, even because I guess they knew the order of the gauntlet match beforehand, but it's just to have him screw over the Bucks because even then he didn't help FTR win the match. Still had to be the best friends to get that gauntlet win. So it doesn't really I don't know. I mean, it's just you're playing a mind game with him. I guess I don't know.
There's loose ends kind of in this storyline. It's a little sloppy, a little hard to get behind. They could have done way simpler, where he just simply betrays him in a title match, and you can have it on the next Dynamite why he betrayed Kenny, and just give whatever reasons you want to give, and that's it. And it would have been much cleaner, much simpler. Don't have to get FTR involved and cut a weird promo where everybody's just cursing at each other, and the goddamn mic can't block off all the shit that they said.
Yeah.
But I don't know. It didn't hit the vibe for me. It was off. They did such a great job of building it up for basically the beginning of the Dynamite era of AEW, and just kind of dropped the ball.
Yeah, so and then we're trying to see the Bucks getting involved here at All Out. That's the interesting thing. The Bucks are going to get involved in the match, do something. I would went the route of, some issues between Hangman because he got kicked out of the Elite between him and Kenny. You see that during the match a little bit, and then they lose fair and square to FTR. FTR cheats a little bit, whatever. FTR's the new tag team champions, and then immediately after, Hangman attacks Kenny, and then that's the heel turn, and Hangman is against Kenny, and that's the feud that can go on from there. Probably the simpler way to do it, but they went with this kind of interesting way. I'm not really feeling it, but the guys, that's takeaway number 3. Next thing, this is a segment that I just didn't like, right? It was you had Brian Cage with Ricky Starks. Man, he dresses so interesting because the way he dresses doesn't fit with the group that he's in, right?
No, he's like the pretty boy with the guy from Brooklyn and the huge monster. It doesn't make any sense.
It doesn't fit. But they come out, they get interrupted by Jake Roberts again and Lance Archer, and then a million people come out that are in the casino battle royal, and they pretty much have the battle royal right there.
Yeah, right there.
Everybody that's involved is there, right? Yeah. Inner Circle gets involved, so I believe Hager, Santana, and Ortiz are involved in it. You had Eddie Kingston and his crew, all the guys in there.
Eddie Kingston gave a great promo when he came out. He's a great shit talker. I mean, he's got skills on the mic. He's just a natural shit talker and an asshole. And I'm digging it. Like, he went toe to toe with Taz and Jake the Snake Roberts, and maybe outshined them during the promo.
Yeah, well, I mean, you can tell everything he's saying, he believes it, and it's coming from from him. So, so that was the segment. It's just a big brawl. It went to like picture in picture during commercials. We saw a rare Sean Spears sighting.
We got more to the party.
You've been drinking, haven't you? You had to be drinking. Make your point.
Who was obviously not with Tully Blanchard anymore. Doesn't have a loaded glove. Never.
No. But he came out with Tully. Tully was right next to him.
Oh, he came out. Oh, yeah, you're right.
He came out with Tully. He's still no glove.
No glove.
No glove.
Which that segment was absolutely useless. The glove segment, because he never really used it.
You never know. He might bring it out, and he might end up winning the goddamn.
Be honest with you, I think he's the guy that should win this battle royal.
No, he has to win this thing. I mean, Archer and the other guys can kiss ass right now. Maybe do some monster versus monster between him and Cage. But Spears has to win this. He literally has to win this match.
Yeah, he has to win this match. Yeah. But that was the segment. It wasn't really all that. You pretty much saw the whole match right there. But we'll see what happens. Yeah, Sean Spears, I think, should win this match. But we'll get to that in the predictions. Next thing on the show, and it's takeaway number 4. It was Jon Moxley versus Mark Sterling, the attorney for MJF. Match, I think didn't really need to happen, but it was what it was. He gets destroyed, Mark Sterling, by Jon Moxley. Funny ass outfit he had on with those really white New Balances that he had on.
Like rubber pads on. Like, he basically wore like a football pads and like armor. Against Jon Moxley. So the beatdown happens. He wins the match. And then Wardlow gets in the ring, attacks Jon Moxley. Here comes MJF. Free of his injuries. His injuries are fine now. I mean, he's all healed up. He's a quick healer. He happened before with his finger, or his hangnail, or whatever he had.
He's recovered from a lot. He comes down, and this is the takeaway here: is the aggression shown by MJF. Previously, Jon Moxley said, "Is MJF really ready to get like violent and crazy like Jon Moxley likes to get?" Yeah. He showed it here that he has some aggression, a different side of MJF. You don't really see like all that aggression from him. He's very like, you show a little bit and then he turns into like the chicken shit heel and the asshole that he is.
Hides behind Wardlow.
Yeah, so he took it to Moxley here, got the ring on the finger, busted Moxley open, bit Moxley on his open wound.
And Moxley's bleeding profusely here.
Oh my God. You little carnivore. You little Richard. Come on, John.
Oh my God.
Which is probably not the best thing to do.
Yeah, but you got blood check for that. But.
Yeah, they probably did. I mean, that's like hepatitis waiting to happen.
Especially during COVID season.
Yeah, exactly. But that was it. He stood tall. MJF.
For them. That's what they want.
He's probably got to be.
He can very easily
with the AEW championship. So the way wrestling tends to work, whoever stands tall at the go home loses at the pay-per-view. So that may happen here, but we'll get to that in the predictions. But good to see a different side of MJF and be able to match maybe the intensity and the violence of Jon Moxley.
Yeah, the match was stupid. It wasn't entertaining for me. I didn't like it. I thought even last week with the whole there's a page 17 blah blah blah. Like, I get why they did it, but it didn't really add to the storyline. But the fact that MJF came out and just went complete bad shit crazy on him, licking him and fucking putting his blood over his face and just looking crazy and looking like a madman was amazing. MJF just keeps getting better and better and better, and we can see different sides of MJF. He plays a great chicken shit. He plays a great crazy person. He creates a great promo. He's hilarious. He can do just about anything. The kid is primed, like he said, to run the company for the next 25 years. He's that good. Do I think it's his time? We'll check that out in our predictions.
Yes. Enough said. Let's get into our predictions for All Out. Those were our 4 takeaways for the Wednesday Night Wars, AEW and NXT. Let's get into our predictions for AEW All Out. We have I just announced the buy-in. So the pre-show match will be, for some reason, an angle that's been going on for months. Britt Baker will finally get back in the ring. He had the segment on Dynamite where Big Swole was talking to Tony Schiavone, and then Britt Baker attacked her from behind. There was a pizza involved. For some reason, it was a pizza delivery, and that happened. But this thing's been hyped for a while because Britt Baker's been on every Dynamite in the wheelchair, doing something funny, doing something entertaining. So why this match on the pre-show, I don't know. They should probably put the Bucks on the pre-show, to be honest with you. Bucks and Jurassic Express.
Literally a day before the damn
interview. So we got Britt Baker coming back in the ring, and she will face Big Swole. I take Britt Baker because she's coming back in her first match back. I think she should win the match.
Yeah, I think Britt Baker wins this one too. I think she does heel stuff. She's like the best heel in the women's division. She's probably the best star in the women's division, the biggest star in the women's division. So I think she takes the win, and it doesn't end here. I think it's gonna keep going.
Yeah, and I think they got to build Britt Baker up to face, Sheeta eventually for that title.
Yeah.
Because there's the backstory involved in there with Sheeta breaking her nose and everything like that.
Yep.
So there's a lot involved there. But we both pick Britt Baker. Next match on the show on the card is Jurassic Express versus the Young Bucks. I think the Young Bucks lose here. I think Jurassic Express takes this.
Yeah, I think Jurassic Express kind of needs to win more than the Bucks. I think the Bucks, like you said, are going to go into a little, maybe not a heel, but definitely like a darker, less, maybe change up their style of their, just the high spots or something, whatever. Just be a little darker, a little meaner of a crew, and this might lead them to becoming that, to go against FTR. But yeah, I'm gonna do the Jurassic Express on this one. Yep.
I can see the Bucks losing this match, being upset, and that's why they get involved in Kenny and Hangman's match.
Yep.
We can see that happening. Next thing, another match that was announced on AEW Dynamite: Matt Hardy versus Sammy Guevara. They had the tables match last week. Now they're gonna have a broken rules match that really nobody knows what the hell that even means, but we'll see what that is. We'll see if we see broken Matt Hardy. We've seen this regular Matt Hardy. He said he wasn't gonna switch too much because people were complaining about he had the multiverse thing going on. So he has
who was complaining?
As the fans were complaining of him like switching characters all over the place. So he was pretty much going to stay just Matt Hardy in AEW.
What?
Yeah.
Like 8 people complaining, and now he's going to change?
Yeah, but we'll see what the broken rules match could be. The return of broken Matt Hardy, Damascus, something like that. But I do think Matt Hardy wins this match.
I think I'm gonna go Sammy G on this one.
You think he's beat him 2 times in a row like that? Yeah.
Yeah. I think he's gonna beat him 2 times in a row. I think Sammy G's a star, man. They got to get that going. They haven't won a lot. Even Jericho's lost a couple times, or more than a couple times. Got to keep him going. Inner Circle has to keep him strong. So I think Sammy G wins this one. I think Matt Hardy's gonna hopefully bring out 8 different faces of Matt and go nuts. And who cares what 8 people said on Twitter? So hopefully Sammy G wins this up and have a great match.
Yeah. All right. So next match on the card, the Dark Order. You got Brody Lee and Evil Uno, Stu Grayson, a couple other guys, probably, was it Alan Angles and the rest of those guys versus Matt Cardona, Scorpio Sky, and the Natural Nightmares. They're all fighting in defense of Cody. I assume Cody will come back at All Out and do something in this match. Could help them get the win. So I do think Cardona, Scorpio Sky, and Natural Nightmares will get the win here. Do something having to do with Cody coming out and kind of interfering.
Yep, I think Nightmare Family takes this one as well in revenge of Cody. Cody's going to come out and bring something out to help them win. I think it's an interesting match. I'm looking forward to it, but definitely Nightmare Family takes this one.
Yeah. Next match, the 21 man. I don't know why the number is 21, but it's 21 man Casino Battle Royal for the AEW Championship opportunity. We said this earlier. We think, and we believe he should win. Shawn Spears.
Shawn Spears needs this win. He came in with a lot of hype. He's been stop and go, and he's been stopped for the last 3 months. So hopefully this is his time. Get the loaded glove. You got Tully. Give me some old school NWA stuff in there in the ring, and that's when this 21-man battle royal thing, whatever they're calling it.
Yeah, and you got a good faction there. Say if he wins this, you could have him and FTR as kind of a faction with Tully, and they can help each other out. You got FTR helping these guys out, helping Shawn Spears out, maybe in the title match he has, and stuff. Maybe they help him in the battle royal. You never know, but we'll see what happens with that. But we're both picking Shawn Spears. Next thing. AEW Women's Championship match, Hikaru Shida versus Thunder Rosa. I think it's pretty obvious Hikaru Shida holds on to the title. I don't think they're going to have a double champion with Thunder Rosa being an NWA contracted wrestler. I don't see that happening. I think Shida holds on to the championship.
Shida wins this match. The reason why she's even having it against Thunder Rosa is because they haven't built the women's division that well. And with Britt Baker injured for so long, they really did a terrible job of developing the women's division. So this is why we have Thunder Rosa coming in and just having a match all of a sudden. So definitely Shida wins this match.
Well, yeah, Britt Baker in the women's division is the most
complete star,
complete character. Basically, she has she's entertaining, good on the mic, all that stuff like that. So she has a shtick to her. None of the other women really do have anything to them. They're just there, right?
Potential. I mean, their potential that they need to work out. Chris Statlander was one that I like a lot, but she got hurt. There's a lot of potential in the women's division, but they haven't found a way to get that going yet. Just with Shida, really.
Yeah, just Rashida. All right, so next thing, AEW Tag Team Championship match, Kenny Omega and Hangman Page, the champions versus FTR. I think FTR gets the titles right here.
Yeah, I think we talked about it earlier. FTR wins this match and breaks up Kenny and Hangman. I'll be sad to see Kenny and Hangman break up because they were an awesome tag team that was put together. We're just like, okay, this is a tag team, and they killed it. But they're gonna have some bust ass matches between each other. It's gonna make Hangman even a bigger star.
Yeah, so they were random put together, but they were kind of like the perfect tag team. To be honest,
They
with you,
are.
like
They're
Kenny
freaking
and
awesome.
Hangman, they work so well together.
Yeah,
And
I'm gonna miss seeing them.
Together,
I'm gonna miss seeing them. But like, it's gonna be great when they feud each other, and then maybe in a year or 2 years from now, they can just come back as a tag team for one special time.
Exactly.
It'll mean that much more.
Yeah, next match on the card, Mimosa Mayhem match. Chris Jericho versus Orange Cassidy. I think Chris Jericho wins this match. I mean, I think Chris Jericho wins. I don't really see Orange Cassidy beating Chris Jericho twice, because then where does Orange Cassidy go after this, right? Like, what does he do after that? I mean, he's still got the same shtick, right? So, like, does he, like, I don't know where he goes after this, honestly. So I think Chris Jericho wins this match.
I'm going to go Orange Cassidy just because I think Chris Jericho likes to put the young guys over. That's kind of what he's here for. He's always been a guy that's always been really, part of his shtick has always been to put younger guys over and have more guys, build more stars. So Orange Cassidy, this is like the big, the big third match. This is the rubber game match that's, up for grabs. The whole thing is up for grabs, like in the rivalry. So I think Orange Cassidy pulls it out.
Okay. Next thing, last match, final main event, AEW Championship match, MJF versus Jon Moxley. Jon Moxley, the champion. I think Jon Moxley continues to hold on to the title. Like I said, they're giving him a Bret Hartish run where he's just taking on all comers. He's taking on a bunch of giants. He's taking on the asshole heel. I think that's what they're doing with Jon Moxley. So I think Jon Moxley holds on to the title.
Yeah. I think Jon Moxley wins. My heart wants MJF to win. I just don't think MJF is there. I mean, I think he is there, but it's not his time. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think they need to build him a little more. He needs to go have bigger matches and bigger feuds, and then come back sometime to win the belt. I can definitely see them giving him the title, but I just think Mox is on, like you said, a Bret Hart run. He's just a fighting champion, and then they're gonna ride him as their horse, as the champ. I just think it's Mox.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of people who do want MJF to win. So
I do. I want him to win.
There's a lot of people that do. So we'll see what happens. But we're both picking Moxley on this one. We just think he's going to go on a long run with the title. I think they want to go the same route as Japan and have guys hold on to the world championships longer rather than keep flipping them like every so often like WWE does, because they kind of lose meaning at that point. But those are our predictions for All Out. We're going to try to get that video, guys, out to you, our recap. We're going to be on a family vacation, so it'll be kind of tough. It may be kind of, less than what we give you now, but we'll see what happens.
It's going to be guerrilla style.
It may be guerrilla style, yes.
On the street, on the beach.
you may not get SmackDown or Takeaway, and you may not get the All Out. We're going to try hardest to get the All Out one, because that's the more important one to get out there, but we'll see what we can do. But guys, that's the episode we have for you guys today. Appreciate you guys for watching. Remember, for this work, brother, not do the job.
Later, Marks.